Hello everyone and welcome. Today we are going to discuss on a very important topic that is related to computer attacks and threats. We have covered about viruses in detail, about the type of viruses and how we are going to know what are the symptoms that our computer is infected by the virus. But today in this video we are specifically targeting the computer worms. So let's start the video. Here, first thing we have to understand what is a computer worm. A computer worm is a type of malware whose primary function is to self-replicate and infect other computers while remaining active on an infected systems. It is a program that reproduces, executes independently, and travels across the network connections. It replicates itself, and unless it consumes space in memory or hard disk and left no vacant space for the new files. So friends, worm is also a type of a attack or a threat to our computer. It same like our computer virus, it may affect the working of our computer, and sometimes our computer may get stuck into a situation and stop working, right? But what virus is actually, it is a type of a program that self-replicate or that reproduces independently. So the main major point and the factor here is the independent activity. It replicates, self-replicate, and it reproduces independently, and moreover it will reproduce or replicate itself unless until it will occupy the whole space in our memory or the hard disk, and it will left no space for the new files, right? Then the next thing is how we can differentiate a virus and a worm, right? So the key difference between a virus and a worm is the way in which it reproduces and spreads. So how it is going to replicate and then spread itself, it is the major key factor. A virus is dependent upon host file and the boot sector, and transfer of files between computer spreads, whereas a computer worm can execute independently and spreads on its own through a network connection. So the major difference is its reproduction and spread, how it's going to spread. For the virus, we always need a host file, right, or a boot sector. It depends on a host file, but a worm executes itself independently. It spreads on its own in a computer network. So a worm don't need any host file or a boot sector. It works, it activates, it executes, it replicates independently. So it doesn't need any host file like a virus. Let's take the types of worms. So here I have two types of worms. Number one in this is Nimda. Now what is a Nimda? Nimda is a type of worm that distributes itself, edits the files without user's knowledge, modifies the system security settings, and damages the system. And friends, we know that whenever we are going to get the access or control of our security systems or security settings, then our system is very much in control of a person that takes the access of our security settings. Unless until we don't have the access of the security settings of a system, we don't access that much. But as far as we have the security access, right, we can change anything, we can modify, edit files, delete, we can do whatever we want to do with the device. So Nimda is a type of virus that distributes itself, right, then edit files. You know what is editing, that you can delete it, you can change it, you can modify it, right? Then second we have CodeRed. Now CodeRed is a type of a worm. It infects those computer that runs the Microsoft IIS server. It facilitates the hacker to access the infected system remotely. Now here you have to understand that what is Microsoft IIS server. IIS server is the Internet Information Services server, and it is a type of a web server. And obviously Microsoft IIS, so it is developed by Microsoft, and used for hosting websites, web applications, and services on the Windows server. And friends, it offer features like HTTP, HTTPS, and FTP, that is file transfer protocol, hypertext transfer protocol. So these are the two types of worms, right? So this was it for today's video. I hope you understand it and you learn the major difference between virus and worm. They both are the threats to our computer, and they are, whatever they are doing, they may harm our computers working, they may damages our files, but there is a slight difference between a worm and a virus. A worm, it replicates itself, it self-replicate, or it spreads independently, it doesn't depend on a host file. So don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel, and we will inshallah discuss the other threats in the next video, so stay tuned.